Hello everyone, Javodicus here. Today I'm going to be doing a guide for ArchFiend Class. ArchFiend Class is the first class completely released by the artist Nulgath, also known as Miltonius to older players. The armor for the class is a color custom version of the ArchFiend armor that was released about a week ago to this release. Sorry about this guide being a day late, as also I was on a trip for a week, so I had gotten back just today, so I'm going to be filming this now, and I'm going to try to get it out fast as I can. Alright, enhancements for ArchFiend Class. ArchFiend Class shares the default stats of a healer, so you're going to be wanting some high intellect stats, maybe some endurance in there, and quite a bit of luck actually, because of this class's skills boosts its critical strike chance and its critical strike damage a lot, which I'll explain later when we get into the skill breakdown. What I'm going to be using in this video is a Lucky All enhancement on my weapon and Spellbreaker on my helm, cape, and class. If you have access to the All enhancements, which I recommend doing because they're awesome, I'm going to be recommending Health Vamp because although this class has some really cool ways of getting health back, it's not reliable and you always will need to be getting HP back with this class, so Health Vamp is a nice little just bonus heal that you can get. And otherwise, Spiral Carve as well, because everyone knows I love Spiral Carve. Alright, we can finally get into the skills and the passives. Let's do it. Okay, as you can see, like I said, ArchFiend Class shares the Intellect, Endurance, and Luck build that a healer would have. It has a little bit lower hit chance than some classes, but it's decent haste and crit strike, which will get boosted in a lot of ways. Sorry. ArchFiend Class, rank 5. One can always tell when an Archfiend has dominated a battlefield. The Archfiend leaves a wake of destruction behind it, as if it personally signed its name on every victim. Drawing its power from the abyss, every spell of the Archfiend casts has a chance to leech life from its opponent. This is really fun because no matter what skill you use, you can add a really cool little heal over time on yourself. And you'll see that a lot whenever we're going through the skills. I promise you'll see it a lot. It happens so often, it's not even funny. Archfiends gain mana when they strike an enemy in combat, which is more effective on crits. So if you crit, you get a higher amount of mana. And are struck by an enemy in combat. So if they hit you, you also get mana. Alright, on to the passives. Your first passive is called Blood of the Abyss. Your critical strike deals 20% more damage. That's awesome. Your second passive is called Eyes of the Abyss. It increases critical strike chance by 12%. So as you can see, it has some really, really neat passives. It boosts that critical strike chance and the critical damage up a lot. So you're going to crit more, and you're going to do more damage when you do crit. ArchFiend Class does also have a rank 10 passive. It's called Blood Rage. It's kind of along the lines of what a rogue would do with Concealed Blade. If you get health past a certain point, it's pretty much game over, right? The description for Blood Rage is gives a 25% chance to perform a fatal blow to your enemy if they are near death. So I don't have rank 10 yet, but I expect that every single auto attack gives a 25% chance to perform a fatal blow. So I'm guessing it will happen a lot, so that's why I really want to get this to rank 10 and have a lot of fun with it, because it seems so awesome. So I'm going to move on and go ahead and start breaking down the skills for you guys. Alright, now for the actual skills. Your first skill is called Mark of Death. It costs 18 mana and has a 7-second cooldown and is a magical skill. The Mark of Death curses your opponent to take damage over time until they give in to your awesome power. Damage increases with each stack and stacks up to 6 times. Now if I remember right, this damage over time increases by roughly 60 damage with each stack. So your first stack will hit around 64 with this stable weapon. My second will hit 120. Hopefully I'm right. This next one will hit right around 180, 178. So yeah, roughly increases by 60 damage per stack. As you see, I got Fiend Leech, which would be the pretty much passive heal over time that this class gets with any of its skills. And it happens decently often, and you'll see it a lot. Alright, your second skill is called Fiendish Strike. It costs 28 mana, has a 14-second cooldown, and is a physical and magical skill. This is where your luck enhancement would come in, which is why I have one on my weapon. Lash out at all opponents nearby, striking them with the force of the abyss. Deals moderate damage to all targets within melee range. So if I were to use it right here, I would die. So I'm going to move over here. It will attract all enemies that are within your melee range. It will strike all of them. It says moderate damage, but it's actually decently low if I remember correctly. So we're just going to use it on this Skull Warrior. About a 500 crit with it. As you can see, the class crits very often. Now, your third skill has really low mana cost. It's called Fiend Frenzy. Has a 5 mana cost and has a 6-second cooldown. It is a magical skill. Your frenzied state has a chance to empower you and or any of your allies with an increased chance to critically strike by 30% for 10 seconds. Now this does not always happen. You can use the skill a few times and it not happen, but it usually works. I used it the first time, it didn't work. We'll go ahead and start striking him and keep using it until we get it. There it is. Fiend Frenzy. This is also a good skill for inducing that heal over time, because you can use it for such a low cost and so quickly that it usually ends up giving you that. So, as you see, I just made a fatal flaw. I'm about to die, and we're going to come back with the 5th skill. Let's do it. Yeah! I'm doing actually very well. Oh, there we go. Okay. Alright guys, sorry for the, death. But we're gonna go ahead and do the last skill now. It's called Abyssal Contract. It costs 40 mana and has 50-second cooldown. It is a magical skill. Oh, also, as you can see, it's ridiculously expensive compared to your other 3 skills, as far as mana and cooldown and everything like that. But it's actually a really good skill. It binds you and up to 4 enemies to the abyss, dealing massive damage to your targets and increasing all damage they take by 75% for 15 seconds. You take 25% increased damage for the duration. So you're going to do a lot more damage, and they're going to do a lot more damage, but not quite near as much. But it does hit really high. Like, I'll probably one-hit this skeleton warrior if I crit him, but we're going to go ahead and try it out. I might die, just because those 2 will still be attacking me and I don't have a lot of health. But we're going to just spam, so let's go. Hit decently high. See, the cooldown is so high, I have to just kind of spam everything if I have any chance of surviving, and it's not really good for this kind of thing. So as you see, that skill is an AoE attack. Now we're going to go to party and show you the actual crit damage and normal damage on a single monster. Alright, here we are. Disco Stupid here has about 4,000 health roughly. I'm going to just kind of go through his health and see what we can do. As you see, crits quite a lot. And very fast. Alright, now it's time for the overall class review. ArchFiend Class to me seems very easily capable in 1 vs 1 PvP, because once you get rank 10, all you have to do is hit him a few times and then it's game over, as long as the passive holds out the way it's supposed to, or the way it seems like it's going to be. ArchFiend doesn't have any kind of stun, but it has the small heal over time, but it's going to be more of a damage per second class than it is like a massive one-hit KO kind of class. But remember, if you have a higher ranged weapon, you will have the ability to hit higher or lower, but that's the risk you take for using one. I was using a very stable weapon in this video, and you guys are free to change that up if you wish. I just kind of needed a way for you guys to see the average of what ArchFiend Class will hit with each of its skills. In Bloodrot Brawl, I believe ArchFiend could be okay. If you can room hop very well, I'd say it could be great. But the cooldown on your final Abyssal Contract skill will be a little bit of a problem, but I'm sure it won't be too bad for some people, because I've seen some people out there and they are so pro. I'm not a Bloodrot Brawler, I'm more of a 1 vs 1 player, but I do Bloodrot on occasion. And remember, you have the ability to boost either yourself or your friend with Fiend Frenzy. So if you have someone like a Paladin Slayer on your team that you know could just devastate everyone with a big hit, and you give him Fiend Frenzy, along with Undead Power, he's just going to wreck everyone. It's going to be awesome. I wouldn't recommend ArchFiend Class for farming because it just doesn't have very high survivability. It's not got reliable cooldowns on its only area of effect skill, and it's just not built for farming, I don't believe. It could be okay for going through the storyline, especially because of your first couple skills. They're decently fast, and you have high crit chances and crit damage because of your passives, and it just seems like it could be a lot of fun to use in many given situations. As always, guys, like, subscribe if you feel like it. If you don't like the video, please comment and tell me why you didn't like it. Again, I'm sorry that this video was out a day late. I hope you guys still watch it and enjoy it. I will be leaving my Twitter in the description if anyone wants to follow me. I follow back if you play Adventure Quest Worlds because it's awesome. My guild here, Savages, also has some openings if anybody fancies themselves a 1v1 and wants to try out. I'm often in Evil Server or Zoom, maybe Sephiria on occasion. You guys can come see me and try out, and we'll see if you want into the Savages. Well, that's all I've got for ArchFiend Class, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Jebo is out.